Welcome to Oktoberfest. Won't you join us?
What are you doing?
What was that sound?
He's messing with the microphone.
What are you doing?
Trying to get my mic stand.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Project Gen X podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Alan Smith, along with...
I'm the other guy, Big Dave.
Mario Morgana.
And on this episode, we're going to be talking about the 1988 movie Pumpkinhead. Actually, I think Dave and I are going to be talking about the movie Pumpkinhead, and we're going to drag Ariel along with us. So it's
Along for the ride for this one.
But you said you have seen
I've
this
seen
movie.
it
It's
in
been a long
passing.
time. Okay.
Yeah.
I had not seen this movie in a very long time until I watched it. And it was kind of cool the night that I sat down to watch Pumpkinhead. It was actually storming outside. So it was like, oh yeah, this is nice. Yeah, this is a good way to watch this movie. Pumpkinhead stars Lance Freakin Henriksen, Jeff East, John DeQuino, Kimberly Ross, Joel Hoffman, Cynthia Bain, Carrie Remsen, Florence Schaffler as Haggis.
Brian Burmer.
It's got someone in here who's got one of my favorite names ever. Plays Clayton Hiller as Dick Warlock. Love that name.
Dick Warlock.
Maya Bialik is in this movie.
What?
Yep. She is one of the Wallace kids.
Really?
Like, yeah, just in it was a very, very early role for her. Pumpkinhead, I like the tagline on this. It says, is it a twisted fairy tale or a dark fairy tale? Hold on. A grim fairy tale. That's what they call it. And I tend to agree with that because the movie starts off so Lance Henriksen plays Ed Harley.
Yep.
It starts off when he's a boy.
In 1957.
Yes, and his parents are basically locking the place. They live in the mountains.
They live in the backwoods.
Yeah, they live in the. Did they ever say where this was? You kind of get that it's Appalachia. I mean, this is.
Oh yeah, it's definitely Appalachia.
I don't know
they
if
never
they ever
really
say
give an
where
area.
it is exactly, but someone has done something bad. And everyone knows about it.
Yeah,
I think he killed a girl, right? Like a kid, something like that. And so this demon, Pumpkinhead,
monster,
is summoned to exact revenge. And Ed, the guy actually comes to their house, and his dad won't let him in. He's like, "No, go away, because you'll bring this down on us if you don't
get away from
my
my
house."
house.
From the house,
Yeah.
And Ed actually sees Pumpkinhead. He looks out the window and sees
Pumpkinhead catch the guy and
kill him.
Yeah.
And so then we fast forward to when he's an adult. In the 80s.
It doesn't really give a date.
It does, and it just kind of fast forwards, and now he's a single father.
Widowed father.
A widowed father, yeah. And still living in the same town.
Yep.
He's running the general store.
Yep.
And, working on his farm and that kind of stuff. And
got a boy, got a dog.
Yeah, and life is good. And then some no-account teenagers come to town.
Yep.
Because that's what always happens.
With dirt bikes.
With dirt bikes on top of it all. Yeah.
That's the hoodlumist.
Exactly. They've got their dirt bikes, and, they're...
Dang bikers.
I know. And there's an accident.
So they're at the store. They're hanging out. One of them gets a bike off the trailer, and they start doing stunts in the field next to the store.
Right. And then his brother starts following, doing the same thing.
Yep. And what's the kid's name? Billy? Yeah, it's Billy.
But Ed has to go back because, again, that was the Wallaces show up, and he's supposed to have some feed. Is that what it was? And he didn't have it.
I think it was.
Yeah, so Ed's like, hey, I'll go back and get it, and I'll deliver. So he tells his son, stay here, watch the store. I'll be back.
Well, the dog gets loose and starts chasing the kids on the dirt bikes.
Right.
And Billy goes running after the dog, and one of the guys runs him over with a dirt bike.
Right. He winds up dying.
Yeah.
He doesn't die yet. He's hurt.
Mortally injured.
Yeah, and so The guy that ran him over, Joel was his name. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes, it was Joel. Yeah, runs him over, and of course he's already on probation because he had a wreck prior and he'd been drinking a little bit.
Yeah.
And so he takes off, and his brother stays with
Steve.
Stays with him.
Yeah.
And when Ed comes back, he's the only one there, and he's like, "Hey, it was an accident." Picks him up, takes him home, and his son dies.
Yeah.
And so Ed goes looking for vengeance. And he remembers back when he was a kid. Pumpkinhead. Yeah. And he goes to the Wallace household, and the dad, which was played by Buck Flower, George Buck Flower, which he was in. He's a dude who's been in all kinds of stuff.
He's a hey, it's that guy.
He is. He was. He was in MASH. What did he play? Rizzo in MASH. He was in Back to the Future. He was in They Live.
Yeah.
You remember he was the. He's been in all kinds of stuff. He's like he's a hey, it's that guy. Anyways, Ed goes to Mr. Wallace and says, "I need to know.
Where's Pumpkinhead?"
He needs to find the hag or haggis, whatever, the witch of the forest."
So very Grimm's brother.
It very much. Again, it's a Grimm fairy tale.
Okay.
And he's like, "No, because this has ramifications. You can't do this." Well, his son,
The price you'll pay is too high.
yeah. So his son catches him on the way out and says, "I know where she is," and he gives him some money or something, whatever. But then he won't go up there because he's like, "No, I don't want."
He's like, I'll take you up there, but you gotta let me out of the truck before you get all the way there.
Right. And so he goes and he makes this deal with Haggis to bring Pumpkinhead back, and that's the whole thing. He doesn't have a pumpkin head, but he's called Pumpkinhead because it was in a old cemetery that was a pumpkin patch.
Yeah.
And Ed had to go there and dig up.
It's basically a corpse.
It's a corpse. Yeah, we find out at the end of the movie because the whole thing is basically Ed is now bound to Pumpkinhead because he had to give a blood. Well, he basically had to give a blood sacrifice.
Is it kind of like a Sleepy Hollow thing?
I don't know because I watched that movie once and I hated it. But it's a whole deal where, like, basically he's bonded to him. So it's
in order to raise him, he has to make a blood sacrifice of his own blood onto the corpse.
And so every time
while the witch is doing the incantation.
So every time that Pumpkinhead kills one of the teenagers, Ed sees it and feels it. And so he figures out that, like, the only way to kill Pumpkinhead is to kill myself. So at the end of it, he tries to get her to, like, stop it, and she keeps saying it can't be done. You've already committed to this until Pumpkinhead kills everybody.
Yep. Yeah.
This will not stop. And he figures out because he gets hurt later during one of the attacks, and Pumpkinhead winces.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Oh, okay." So he winds up shooting himself and killing him. Actually, I think he shot himself but didn't kill him, but then one of the girls killed him.
Ed shoots himself in the head. Pumpkinhead momentarily collapses to the ground, then grabs Bunt again.
Right.
Tracy takes the gun, and Ed finishes her, or begs her to finish him off. Ed, now fully metamorphosized, appears to menace Tracy. She shoots him until both he and Pumpkinhead fall to the ground dead.
And at the very end of the movie, you see Haggis with Ed's body.
Gonna make him into the new one.
Burying him in the
pumpkin patch.
The pumpkin patch, so that's the whole you become the next Pumpkinhead.
Yeah.
That's cool.
This movie was directed by Stan Winston, which, if you know anything about, he actually wrote part of it. There was a bunch of writers on this, but he also wrote. Stan Winston was a special effects artist.
Like one of the premier.
It's one of those. You start going through his back of like what and it's like he was involved in
monster.
everything.
I remember him being very scary.
Right.
Gives a very alien-esque.
Very much so. The first time that we see Pumpkinhead in shadow, basically in moonlight shadow, the first time, it looks very much like the Alien Queen. Because it does has a long tail and
that
all.
Kind of like weird shaped head where it's elongated.
Right. And the guy that played Pumpkinhead, his name's Tom Woodruff Jr., was actually I've met him. He's like 6'4", 6'5", or something like that. He's a really tall guy. Plus, they put him in stilts.
Yeah.
On top of it all.
Yeah.
But he also was one of the special effects artists. He was a member of Stan Winston's team.
Okay.
And that was they were like, Winston said, no, we're putting Tom on stilts and putting him in this costume, type thing. Yeah.
Gotta love it.
And Woodruff was one of the guys that I met when we were doing contract way back in the day. And I really enjoyed interviewing him. He was a lot of fun. That was the whole, I asked him, like, one of the questions I was going to ask him was like, what was it like to work with Lance Henriksen? And this was in with my old podcast. And we used to every time we would talk about Lance Henriksen, we would always say Lance Freakin Henriksen. So when I asked him the question, I was like, "What was it like working with Lance Freakin Henriksen?" And Tom Woodruff stopped and laughed, and he's like, "I just want to say how much it makes my heart warm that Lance's middle name is Freakin."
Yeah.
But he was like he was a really nice guy. And I also met him. It was very shortly after Winston had died, so he had all kinds of good things to say about Stan Winston.
Stories,
yeah. But I'm serious. When you start looking at
small,
one of the last things that Stan Winston worked on was the first Iron Man movie. He did a lot of the special effects for that, like the practical effects and everything.
No, he was working all the way up into 2010.
Well, his team was working because he died in 2008. Yes.
It's under his filmography.
I know it is, but
okay.
he had done some preliminary work on a few things that came out after him. Okay. But his team, the guys that they carried on, but yeah, he died in like 2008.
So starting, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but starting in 1982, The Entity, Friday the 13th, Part 3, uncredited, The Thing, The Terminator, Starman, Ghoulies, Invaders from Mars, Aliens, Monster Squad, Predator, Pumpkinhead, Leviathan, Edward Scissorhands, Predator 2, Terminator 2, Batman Returns, Jurassic Park, Interview with the Vampire, Tank Girl.
Tank Girl?
You missed one. Did you say Monster Squad?
Yes, I did. Monster Squad.
The thing that Tom Woodford told me about that, because I love the Monster Squad. When I asked him about that, he said the thing that most people don't know is that the Wolfman in that, the mask that they use, he's like, that's actually Stan Winston's face. They used his face as the model for the Wolfman makeup. So it's like
that's how to do it.
Exactly.
Lake Placid, yes. End of Days, Galaxy Quest, What Lies Beneath.
He worked on all kinds of stuff. Okay.
Darkness Falls.
Yes.
That was an movie.
Constantine. Doom. Skinwalkers.
He only directed just a few movies. But he did special effects, makeup for.
You can really tell with Terminator and Alien and Predator and like.
He worked on all of those.
Frame that they all have that very grungy kind of look to them, as far as like special effects go.
Yeah, he.
I like that. I like that grittiness.
Yeah, he died in June of 2008. He was 62 years old. And now, what's the cool thing is that his son is doing the same thing now. He's in the family business. Yeah.
Okay.
There was a great on this. I picked up this Scream Factory Pumpkinhead. It was like from 2014. There is a 45-minute documentary on here, all about Stan Winston. And they talked to it's like Tom Woodruff, everybody that he worked with, like guys that he literally like worked with for 20 plus years, were all on there just talking about how he was just the greatest person to be around. And they all had great stories about meeting him for the first time, of like bringing in their portfolio and being like, hey, can you look at this? And said that it was one of those things that Stan Winston didn't like push it off on somebody else. Like he would always bring, when somebody would come in for an interview, he would sit down with them and he would start going through their portfolio. and more than one of them, of Tom
I'm
Woodruff
sure he
being
had to
one of them, being like, he said he sat down, he just started like rifling through my portfolio really quickly, just blah blah blah. And he was like, well, I guess I'm not getting this job. And he was like, okay, this is blah blah blah, everything. He's like, okay, so Monday when you come in, I need you to just like, it was always that kind of stuff.
Very specific.
Yeah, he
style.
was. It said that he would go through this stuff very quickly, but he knew he had an eye for who had talent and who didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't have to sit there and go over every little detail about stuff. He could look at it and say, okay, look, maybe this person is not up to what I want them to be, but I can get
teach
them
the
there.
things I
right.
want them to.
They have the basics down, and I can get them there. And it was one of those things that there was a ton of loyalty. I mean, he worked with the same people over and over and over and over again.
And he's got a school. His family's got a school for the performing arts.
Yeah, and
so.
it's
that's great.
Yeah, and that's it's the whole thing. We started doing Pumpkinhead, and then this is obviously it is broken down into a Stan Winston love fest here. But the movie Pumpkinhead, I remember. I barely remember it being in theaters. Like I remember it, like seeing the television.
It didn't
spot
do
for
well
it.
in the theater.
I saw it in passing on television.
Yeah,
it was a
VHS.
rental.
It was one of those movies that like found its footing on VHS. Like so many movies, like so many horror movies from this era, like late '80s, type, where it was like, and again the Pumpkinhead box art,
they
was just like
they had like the movie posters.
Yeah,
up in
I did too. I know
that's what caught my eye. I was like, "What is that?"
Yeah, because and they did something really good with this movie, kind of like what they did with, like, of course he had worked on Aliens, not Alien, but Aliens, because he worked with James Cameron in several movies, where it was the thing about Aliens is that you see them, but you don't see them a lot.
Yeah.
It's more of this ominous, they're there.
Yeah.
But we can't see them.
They use a lot of shadowing.
Absolutely. And they did the same thing with Pumpkinhead.
Yeah.
And the character of Pumpkinhead works really well in this movie because, like I said, the first time that we see it, it's all in shadow from a distance. It's silhouette of this like horrible thing. When this movie kind of breaks down a little bit is at the end when you actually see Pumpkinhead in full life quite a bit. And it's like they try to cover it with, lightning strikes and again when silhouette and that kind of stuff. But it's like the Pumpkinhead design and the makeup and the suit that Woodruff is in looks great. Yeah. But it looks like a suit, unfortunately. It's like, it looks great. It just like it doesn't look quite lifelike.
Okay.
It's very late.
And it's kind of the same thing. Like I love Aliens, but at the end of that movie, whenever it's like
vinyl.
Yeah, it really does kind of. It's like, especially for its time, it looked great.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of one of those like, yeah, that's not really an alien.
It's a man in a suit.
Exactly.
Okay.
But they were working with what they had to work with, and he did exceptional work. On it. Unfortunately, they made sequels to this movie. They were all direct-to-video.
Oh, okay.
I think I have only seen the second one. I think it's called Blood Wings or something like that. Yeah. And it deals with a new cast of teenagers. The only thing I really remember is that Salil Moon Frye is in it.
Oh,
and
really?
That was like when she was kind of like, she had grown up enough to where like, oh, she's not Punky Brewster anymore, and it was like, okay, hey, she's gotten kind of hot. I was a teenager. I'm like, hey, But it was, you think, how you're a teenager. But it was just kind of, that's the only memorable thing. I remember watching the movie, but it was just bad. I mean, it was just, and of course, the thing is, Stan Winston's not involved and all this kind of stuff. And so it's one of those that, like, Pumpkinhead doesn't look that good. And they try to, like, shoot it from far away and in shadows and all this kind of stuff to cover up how bad the suit looks. And it just really doesn't work. And I know they made a couple of other ones. I think there was like 3 of these, if I'm not mistaken.
3 or 4.
Yeah. But they were all straight to video.
And don't even waste your time watching the sequels.
Yeah,
watch the first one. It's a good hour and a half.
Oh, there's 4 of them.
Oh, no. 4 sequels?
There's Pumpkinhead 2 Blood Wings, which came out in 93, so like 5 years later.
Okay.
And then in 2006, they made Ashes to Ashes, which Lance Henriksen's back for the last 2 movies, actually.
Really?
And then they made Pumpkinhead 4 in 2007, which is called Blood Feud. But yeah, they
was
Lance
it
Henriksen
flashbacks or something?
I don't know. but he's back for both of those. But I have not seen either of them. And you know who else was in that Pumpkinhead too? Amy Dolan's.
Really?
Yeah. I think that's the only other thing I've ever seen her in besides She's Out of Control. You have no idea who we're talking about, is it?
Nope.
You know the group The Monkees.
I know
from
of
the
them.
60s. You know,
Yeah.
Her dad was Mickey Dolenz from The Monkees, and so it was like in the 80s she had a couple of movies that they were trying to make her a thing, but it just didn't. It never took off. But yeah, so you had Amy Dolenz and Salome Fry, and that's the only things worth even noting about the movies. So, Kane Hodder's in it. I take that. Oh, and Linnea Quigley's in it also.
You're finding more reasons to watch it again, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
I don't know. Kane Hodder, I'd show up.
Is he actually playing anything, or is he playing a monster?
Well, no, he plays a guy. You know who else is in this movie?
Oh, no.
Roger Clinton.
Really?
Who the fuck?
Bill Clinton's brother.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he's in the movie also.
Hey,
wow.
you either go into politics or you go into acting.
Dude, Roger Clinton.
Or you do both.
Roger Clinton.
I was going to say, it's kind of the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You either go into politics or you go into acting. Or you do both.
He was a mess when
That's why
his brother was in
have?
office. Yeah, yeah. I have to say that I really love this movie. It was a little slower than I remembered it being.
I was okay with the pace.
But I really enjoyed it. It's only like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Or I don't even think it's an hour and a half. I think it's like an hour 20.
It's very
like
succinct. It's a very
It tells a story.
Yep.
It's point A, we get to point B, and it's very efficient in getting from point A to point B.
Okay.
And I really did like the design, like when he goes to the pumpkin patch.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that looked great, the way that they had it, because it wasn't just like, oh look, they're pumpkins. It's like, no, there's like these deformed pumpkins that are like just odd colors and stuff. I'm
There's
like,
like
this is
mounds of dirt.
yeah, there's mountains. And like
gravestones.
the whole thing is like where he digs is like this big, like it's a tree.
Yeah.
It's like
It's like a giant stump.
it's a giant stump that's probably about 6 foot tall or whatever, and he has to like climb up on top of it and dig down inside of the stump where this body is buried, and there's pumpkins all over it. It looks great. It looks great.
Yeah.
From in passing, what I saw was really, it's very dark,
It is.
very dirty, and it looks visually good.
It looks like a place
Very
you
creepy.
don't want to be at night. You don't want to be
Yeah.
lost in these woods at all. And
That's most of Appalachia.
yeah, well, there is that. There is that.
But then again, that's where I go deer hunting at. So I'm kind of comfortable.
Well, I was
with
watching
it.
this, and I was going to ask you about, because you're from the backwoods of Kentucky, and I was going to ask you if this was any of your relatives that was.
The haggis? Is that who you're talking about? You know haggis?
You're going to do that when you're from Alabama?
I am not from Alabama, thank you very much. I am from Tennessee, thank you very much. But yeah, it's just I really enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed revisiting it, and I very much would say go and give it a look. I mean, it's very of its time. It's very of its time.
No, do better than that. Go buy you a copy.
Yeah, and that was when I found this, because again at a local used media store,
Yes.
McKay's. I was in there a couple months ago, and somebody had brought in their horror collection. And it was a bunch of Shout Factory, Scream Factory discs and stuff. And I saw that and immediately was like, I don't care, I'm buying it.
Yep.
It's just like, I'm getting this one. There's no to it. They had several other ones that I wound up, The Return of the Living Dead was one of them that was in there, and a few others that I was like, no, I'm buying these because first off, they're hard to find. I mean, you can't just walk into stores and find a lot of these Blu-rays any longer, and a lot of them are special edition, like they were put out, and then Shout Factory lost the license to it, so they're out of print.
Yep.
And so I was like, all right, well, this is one of them. One of them that I really wanted that they had was The Howling, but they were asking way too much money for it. And I was like, I found that I could buy it cheaper somewhere else. So
I haven't seen The Howling
I
forever.
love that movie. So
too.
maybe we'll do that
Maybe
one
we
later.
will.
That's another movie that we were talking. We were saying we needed to pick up something else. The Howling would be a good one.
Oh, where's it streaming?
Well, there we go.
Look if it's on Shudder.
It probably. What does Just Watch say?
Just watch.
Oh, dude, just download the app.
Do you know how many apps I have on my stupid
It is 1981, The Howling. It is streaming.
Only on Amazon?
Yeah.
Wow, it is, isn't it?
For pretty.
Actually, it's not even. Yeah, it's not streaming.
It's for rent.
That's all right. I was getting ready to buy a copy of it anyway, so that just give me a reason to.
I might need you to pull a little magic for me.
Yeah, well, I can do that also. So
I can just go visit my mother.
yeah, there you go. I'm sure
The
she has a
library
copy
of
of
horror.
it. Yeah, probably has it on VHS.
Oh, I
doesn't
know she hasn't.
Yeah. So and again,
That's how I've seen it.
that Howling poster is wonderful.
Iconic.
I love that. That is so cool. And there's something about 70s and early 80s horror movies that just hit differently than anything after it whatsoever. And The Howling is right there because it came out in 81, right there on that, like, oh, yeah. So, all right. I give it a high recommend. Dave gives it a high recommend.
Yes.
I intend to watch it.
You said you've seen it before, so yeah.
I'm going to rewatch it and see. 'Cause
absolutely.
all the things that you've talked about, I'm like,
absolutely.
what?
Go and watch it. It just, it does. It has that southern, that Appalachian
Creepers kind of vibe.
Yeah, that backwoods, and haints and witchcraft and like what are we doing here? And the haggis, the way they did the
witch,
the witch is her name is Haggis. She's old and decrepit, and she knows. I mean, there's Ed Harley comes back to her at one point. He's like, you gotta stop. She's like, it can't be stopped, Ed Harley. She always calls him Ed Harley. She always calls him his full name.
Yeah.
And he's like, stop it. He's like, God damn you. And she's like, he already has, Ed Harley. He already has. And it's like, wow, that's a line, man.
I love that.
So it's that kind of like, yeah. And then when at the end of it, when you see her burying him, and she's this old decrepit, it's like, oh, she's done this a lot. So,
and she's not as weak and decrepit as she looks, because she was just hauling him around like it was no thing.
Yeah. It's that I remember, like,
never hack off the crone of the woods.
Yeah, I was in high school when this hit, and I remember one of the football players that was sitting next to me in one of the classes. I can't remember. He was a couple of years older than me. But I always remember like something. He's like, have you seen that movie Pumpkinhead? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, dude, that movie was fucking awesome. It's like, yeah, it really was. It's like, I didn't figure you for somebody that would watch straight to video stuff, but it's like,
definitely need to see.
Yeah, exactly. So, So that.
But since you're turning in your homework late, we'll only drop you one letter grade.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Okay, thanks,
she'll
guys.
get to it. I think she has enough horror cred to carry her, enough credit to carry her through on that one. So
thanks.
So yeah, we're gonna get out of here on this episode. Make sure to check out all of our socials, and we will be back with. I'm not even 100% sure what we're gonna be back with next, but we will be back with more because we still have more of Oktoberfest to go. So for the Project Gen X podcast, I am Alan Smith.
I'm the other guy, Big Dave.
I'm Mario Morgana.
We will see you next time.
See ya.
Boy.